Welcome, gentlemen, to the Loose Dads podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Loose Dads from Dad's Net. It's some dads getting together and just having a little chat and sorting out some dad stuff on the way. We're doing Parenting Would You Rather. We're looking inside the news to see how it affects parents. And we're going to be answering some big questions of the week from Dad's Net members as well. But first of all, before we get into any of those shenanigans, let me introduce the panel now. The day that we are recording this today, we are live streaming this on Tuesday, the 18th of October at 8:30. We do it every Tuesday night, 8:30. Join in. If you only ever listen to the audio, come for the live stream one day. You'll enjoy it, maybe. But anyway, this day is 100 years to the day since the BBC started. So I thought I'd introduce the panel in terms of the BBC programmes they would be. Jack, if I was being cruel because of the way you talk about your lads at nursery, I would say you're the young offenders.
Okay.
If I was being
not just at nursery, but yeah.
Okay. If I was being kind, I'd say Gentleman Jack.
Thank you.
Because you're a famous Yorkshire lesbian. So
if there's one thing everyone knows about me.
Yeah, famous for it, really. Brad, he's the controversial one. Brad is very much points of view. He's angry of Tunbridge Wells. He's getting involved. He's making these point across. Why, oh, why, oh, why? That's Brad.
No idea what the reference is, but it sounds good.
It's basically, it was a TV show that was like Twitter before Twitter existed for people to complain about TV.
Nice. Yeah, I get I am a dick. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, good. 2 years in, he's finally realised. Sparky is not here. He's on the lead up to his wedding. He's had his official wedding. Now he's got his abroad wedding coming up, and he's already there a week before. He said 18 guests were already there.
I know.
A week before the wedding. I mean, I'd be bored of them.
Yeah.
No, that's just me. Anyway, he's escaped to the continent. There you go.
Nice.
And I would be 1 foot in the grave.
Hey, no, I do get that one.
But together, right? Together, you know what we are, the BBC show, right? Do you know what we are together? Top of the pops. No, top of the pops.
Top of the pops. So, yes, yeah.
It's another...
Love it.
It's not 100 years of ITV, Brad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
sorry, dude. I don't know the difference. I told you, I'm a dick. I'm ignorant as well. So, like, sorry, Jim. Yeah. By the way, that is a classic joke, and I totally apologize for ruining it for you.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's usually me that ruins my own jokes, so it's fine. Someone else is doing it.
You're Gary Delaney, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to go with this now because I've denied it for so long. Yeah, Gary Delaney is a joke thief. He steals all my best.
He's been stealing it since you guys were in nursery school together.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
On the playground,
right. Yeah. Let's look inside the news. In the news this week, the Welsh Government is looking to consult on scrapping school logos on school uniform, meaning that, you know, if you have a blazer, you don't have to get the official one through the school with the school emblem on it, which is, you know, comes with a £20 surcharge or whatever.
So expensive.
You could just go out and get any old blazer. And then one of the ideas is you just like stick on or sew on a logo of your own choosing, which seems to make sense. Now, in England, there was a rule that came in September that said there shouldn't be any unnecessary additions to school uniforms, but that didn't stop them having school logos on the official school uniform. So I don't really know what that rule is trying to do, but it doesn't work for this purpose. So the idea is obviously it'd be cheaper for families. And to me, this sounds like a good idea, right? Are there any downsides to it? school uniform's expensive, isn't it?
It's so expensive. Like Jake's just gone to school for it's his first year at school, and it's expensive. I was speaking to one of the mums at the school gate, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, we got little Barnold."
I'm sorry. Dude, was that? Did she initiate the conversation with you because she was wondering why this strange man with the stash was standing near the school grounds?
You haven't mentioned the moustache. If you are on the live stream right now, you will be staring at Jack, who has what I can only well, I mean, someone has said you look like a weightlifter from a circus, like in the olden days,
like Bronson.
Is it? Yeah,
Bronson. You are Bronson.
So the thing is, right? I've been one of those days, mental health wise, where things weren't going quite as I was hoping they would. And so I needed to make a change. So I took to the clippers and shaved off my beard and went, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to leave the moustache." We all do it sometimes where you just you shave it gradually in bits.
Yeah, I quite like showing the kids the little stages that you go through.
Yeah.
So I'll go out, shave a little bit, come back, and go, "What do you think about that?" I did a goatee at one point, and Elsa went, "Oh, that's brilliant!" I'm like, "No, it's not, though." No.
I didn't think it was appropriate to bring the kids into my meltdown, so what I did was I just went and shaved everything off except the moustache, and then now I have a moustache. And my wife hates it. And she hasn't even seen it in person yet. I just briefly on a video call earlier showed her and she went, "What is that? What is that?"
So you were having this conversation at the school gate.
Yeah, at the school gate. Sorry.
A little Barnold.
Little Barnold, yeah, of course.
I love that that's your first name that you thought of. The first made up name you went for. Great.
Little Barnold, I've bought him 3 school jumpers, 5 school polos, a school coat, a school bag, a school rucksack, a school just everything was branded from the school. And she said, yeah, it's quite expensive though, isn't it? I spent I can't remember what she said, 150, 200 quid, and I'm like, bloody hell! I hadn't bought anything at this point. I was like, well, I won't be doing that.
No. I mean,
I will buy 1 branded T-shirt for school photo days.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it can just come from Matalan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't really understand. Well, I do understand. They want to make a load of money and they've got these deals with companies that want to make some money as well. Yeah. But for parents, also, I think at primary school, you don't need to go the whole hog, do you?
No.
Yeah.
We've got some branded jumpers because they're the ones that my son wears, and some branded cardigans, and that's it. Because they got, and you could get the baseball cap, and you could get. It's like going to Disneyland, going through the gift shop. You could get the happy clappy hands over your head with the school logo on it.
So I reckon scrapping the logos, right? Besides it making the goods cheaper and more accessible. Is the fact that no parents now have to worry about putting pictures of their kids up with school emblem on there, showing what school they go to. Because every parent, you'd go and you blur out their little logo, just in case, you don't want people to know what school they go to, even though you probably publicize what school they go to many a times. I had a second idea. Now that's completely gone, guys.
It's good. I mean, that is good, except the emoji sticker industry would go under, wouldn't it? Because that's what people put over the badge on Facebook to.
You see, there I go. I waste my time. I go and I bloody Photoshop it properly. I'm a stupid idiot, man.
He pixelates it. That's what he does.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I don't think necessarily there's any downside. The only downside is the reason that a lot of schools say they have school uniform, strict school uniform, that everyone wears the same thing, is because otherwise then you get inequalities. So you get people wearing like kind of cool, expensive stuff and people who can't afford that cool, expensive stuff. And it really matters when you're like a teenager or something. But why don't they just then go, right, everyone's wearing the same thing. It's the cheapest possible thing. You're going to get your like blazers from Bob's Blazers round the corner.
Can I just take issue with something, Jim? You keep talking about kids, and are we talking primary school kids here wearing blazers?
Well, no, it's only like primary or secondary. That's the thing. I think it's like any school.
I didn't think up north was posh, but you're talking about blazers like they're an everyday occurrence. I never wore a blazer at school.
No, we didn't, but I think a lot of schools do now. I think they do. Up north is a lot posher than you think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from a third world country, maybe even a fourth world country, and one of my primary schools, one of my primary schools was that you needed to wear a blazer for a primary school.
Did you have to wear it on matriculation day?
Yes.
My wife's primary school was so posh that ballet, tennis, and horse riding were all on the curriculum.
Wow.
I was like in primary school, I'm going, nah, this is some bullshit. Also, and then she said, oh, and then on the last day of school, we all fed our straw hats to the school donkey. I don't know if you've met my wife. She has the thickest Essex accent.
So it's in our village. There are 3 primary schools, and 2 of them are state primary schools, and they're both really good and amazing. And then there is, on the edge of the village, there is a private primary school, the one that Ricky Wilson of the Kaiser Chiefs went to. If you wanted to know, there you go. Little fact about where I live. And we go there. Elsa has gymnastics lessons, and so we go there for the gymnastics lessons. And you have to go in to the sort of walk through to the gym hall, past where all of the kids from that private school have hung up their things with all their names on it. And it's like Teddy Fotherington Smythe is all the name labels. It's so, and also I noticed, I was doing a little count the other day of all the bags carrying these kids PE kits. I think 80% were Marks and Spencer's, 15% were Waitrose, and I even saw an Aldi one. And that kid is not he's not ready to be there. He needs to leave. He needs to come to one of the state schools, I think.
Oh my gosh.
So I've the other thing is I've got a problem with the branded uniforms. Now, I said we've got one. I think we've actually got 2 branded T-shirts for Jake. He went into school and did some painting with the branded shirt on.
Ooh.
Came home with it covered in paint that won't wash out. Now,
oh no!
Surely the school owes me a new top.
I think they would probably say we were doing some free childcare for you for 6 hours. You go whistle for it, mate.
Well, you can whistle for your money for that logo top then. I'm going to Matalan and buying a pack of 5 for half the price.
Nice. Well, I mean, we got in the comments, we got Paul, who's obviously said in Canada they don't have school uniform.
He said they all look homeless with their expensive ripped jeans.
God, that's such a dad thing to say, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
You can tell we are talking to dads.
And Connor basically then also said that no uniforms can lead to bad bullying for families, for the families that are not best off. But I think, like we've discussed, if there is a uniform, but it's not a branded uniform, just like some grey trousers and it's just a white T-shirt or something like that, or like surely that is something that's accessible to the masses.
It's surely just got to be the best option, hasn't it? Somewhere in the middle, it's okay. I get why schools want everyone to have that kind of branded thing, the allegiance to the school. But like a T-shirt or a jumper or something, or a blazer, whatever. If you're not posh like us up here in Yorkshire, then maybe whatever you wear, I don't know, like a denim jacket, I'm not sure. Then you just get like a little badge that people can sew on, and then.
But allegiance to the school, like that's bullshit. My kids don't have allegiance to the school.
No, but I think that's the impression they want to
They're
give.
not going to get like a tattoo of the school emblem in their latter years because they are so strongly affiliated with this school.
I mean, how do you know that? You don't know that.
Yeah,
no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope we're still doing this in 10 years' time.
I bet you your mom didn't know at this current age that you're at that you'd be sat there with that on your face. But here we are.
If anyone's just coming late to the live stream, talking about the moustache. Jack, do you have a news story?
Looking like the Pringle man. Right.
Yes, Jack.
So I wasn't really going to talk about politics, but Liz Truss, right, has obviously had a bit of a nightmare of a start to her premiership. Is that what we call it?
Well, I mean, we don't need to think about it. I don't think it's going to last long enough for it to be an issue. So it doesn't matter.
Anyway, she's had a nightmare, right? And I think she's doing a shite job. But then I saw some of her old Instagram posts, and suddenly I've warmed up to Liz Truss because it turns out she is a pro at dad jokes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
People are digging out all her old Instagram posts from years back, and each one of them has a caption that I love. So there's a photo of her stood on some steps in a brewery drinking a pint, and she says, "See, I can organise a piss up in a brewery."
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah,
that joke,
okay.
that joke, very good. Her milking a cow, and the caption is, "Who says I'm milking it?"
Oh, yeah,
you see, like these are all good.
This, we'd all do them. We'd all do these jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her stood with Toff from Made in Chelsea. You know Toff?
I'm aware of her work. Yeah.
Yes, she stood with Toff, and the caption is, "It's Toff at the top." Okay, her on a sand dune. Turn on, dune in, and chill out.
Oh my god!
I think I like
Liz
Truss.
Are these her jokes, do you think? Or did you think there's like she's got someone on social media in her team that was a dad and she was like, she didn't even know he was posting these things and she's looking at them going, what the hell are you doing? Has she deleted that tweet about Jimmy Savile yet?
I haven't seen that one. What was that tweet?
She tweeted on the day Jimmy Savile died. She tweeted, "R.I.P. Jimmy Savile. Always used to see him hanging out on the street in Roundhay in Leeds, and such a charming gentleman," or something like that. And that was not deleted until very, very recently. It might still be live as well. You'd think that someone would go back and just go, "We'll just get rid of this one."
Yeah.
Like, I think you're talking about having that change of heart about Liz Truss. I might have had a change of heart about David Cameron. Because David Cameron famously, when he was up for election and Ed Miliband was the leader of the Labour Party, and he tweeted, "You have two choices. You choose stability with me or chaos with Ed Miliband." And obviously, the last sort of number of years have just been utter chaos, even though people voted for stability with him. But Ed Miliband shared that tweet again this week, which shows that David Cameron hasn't gone back and deleted that one, which you imagine that he really, I don't think, fair play to him for not going and deleting that from history and going, yeah, okay, I said something that's now proved to be utterly ridiculous. Fair play.
But like, how sad must Ed Miliband be if he's sitting on his loo and just be like, I'm gonna find something here. I'm gonna find something here. There's gonna be something here.
Yeah, his old political rival from many years back. He's like, I'm gonna retweet something that I'm gonna show really you silly now.
That's the sort of pettiness I can definitely get on board with as well. Fair play to both of them. Although apparently, I did hear at one point, apparently the one thing they have in common is that they both have that tweet framed in their house somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, apparently so. Ed Miliband said it on some TV show. Brad, what's your news story this week?
All right, so New Zealand is to tax cows' farts.
I mean, it's about time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. So basically, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced plans to make farmers pay for their livestock's emissions due to the huge contribution they make to climate change. Is it not the fact that we're abusing cows and breeding them so quickly and force feeding them and tearing down rainforests throughout the world to breed these cows that we're slaughtering and milking and abusing? And
I think there's
there's a slightly bigger thing other than them farting. And how are they going to tax it? Are they going to be like, hey man, if you got like 1 to 5 cows, you're going to pay this per cow per day? Like, how are you going to tax someone?
They're going to have to fill in a tax return. How many times did you fart between April 2022 and April 2023?
Yeah. Okay, so that's 25 times. All right. A day.
More like a flatch return.
That's what you've done. Yeah, very good.
I like it.
This is one of those things that people say, isn't it? That people go, man, there's no point cutting carbon emissions because we've just got loads of cows doing farts and stuff. But it's like, but there's loads of natural things that are causing slight damage to the atmosphere. That's just how it happens. That's just life. But there's some things that we can really control. We can't control that with cows unless we invest in corks and stick them up the backsides. But we're not going to do that. I mean, that's labor intensive, So we stick on the big power plants and the not driving as much and those sort of things. We'll do our bit over there. The cows will just have to accept that's probably going to happen, right?
Yeah. You tell them. You tell those cows, Jim.
Although, I mean, we're looking at massive public spending cuts here. So actually, if we could tax some cows, that would be great.
Yeah, no, I tell you who needs to earn less money, and that's farmers.
Yeah. Notoriously, all doing really well. Yeah.
Especially dairy and cattle farmers.
Yeah, because the supermarkets really treat them so well. And fair play to them. Fair play for a fair pint of milk.
I did want to just quickly chime in here, though, that I had a second quick topic that I just wanted to drop here because I thought this was quite sad. I mean, it's probably one of the saddest things I've ever read. That men can develop an allergy to their own orgasms.
That is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, so scientists said that men can suffer from fever, a cough, sneezing, and muscle weakness, or even issues with their speech. See?
Someone is allergic to. What are you doing? Why were you late onto this call?
Why am I shaking? Concentration and memory.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah, and I am. Yeah, slightly under the table. The symptoms can last a few days or even as long as a week.
Wow.
I think that is some serious sad news for me. Like if people are if there are men that are.
Mate, I'd never heard of this, but actually Danny has told me she has an allergic reaction to my orgasms. So. not long after we got married, she developed that.
This is Loose Dads from Dadsnet. On the way, we're going to be answering some big questions of the week from Dadsnet members. Dadsnet has teamed up with Farshaw, and we're running this study on the positive impact of dads regularly reading with their children. And they are giving us loads of books and getting us to sit down with our kids every night and finding out what happens. And it's going to be amazing. We're already a few weeks in, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know about you two. We're getting on with it. We're really getting into some of these books. We've got a couple of Beano books on the go at the moment, which takes me back to my childhood, but my son's really getting into Dennis the Menace and Gnasher, which I'm really enjoying. Nice. How's it going for you?
Yeah. So, you go, Jack.
So I genuinely think that I'm starting to see a bit of a behaviour difference in Jake through reading with him more. So we started doing chapter books, and obviously, like it's a more long form reading, and we're both getting into the story. But when we started this a few weeks back, he was being quite violent and really fighty with me, and now he's like over the last few weeks he's started becoming somewhat of an angel child. like you know, tidying up or making his bed or stuff like that without being asked, like just getting dressed for school, brushing his teeth, all that without a fight, whereas before every single thing was a fight. And like I do half wonder if it's because of the extra time I'm spending one-on-one with him reading these books now.
Because that's the good thing about it, isn't it? That when you're reading, it's great to read stories and fire imaginations and look at difficult words and, you know, develop vocabulary. But it's just kind of good time to spend together and sort of one-on-one time or one-on-two time or whatever, to just have that shared experience as well, which is really nice. And that's kind of one of my favorite bits about it as well. It's really good just before bedtime to just sit down, read a bit, and kind of relax them and just enjoy that time together. Brad, how's it going for you?
I mean, I absolutely love it. I mean, it is such. I find I get excited for it too. And we're doing that, Jack. We've been doing that now for a while with the long form reading, so chapter. Except the book we've got now, like the chapters are fairly quick, so I do maybe 2 or 3 chapters in the night. But like the things I ask the boys is, I was like, so what do you enjoy about reading? And they're like, and they both were like, oh, we love the suspense and the drama, you know, like when a chapter leaves you on a cliffhanger. And you know, so then they get to try and think or try and work out what they think is going to happen next. I mean, this is how much they love. I'm just going to quickly show this to you. This is in the middle of Lisbon Airport Terminal, right? I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh, nice one.
Right, there he is.
reading away.
Reading away in the middle of the airport, which, you know, I've always been quite lucky with the boys, and they love it. Then their love for reading. But I love it because I get to put on all of these voices. And Cole always, like, once in a while, he'll come out and he'll be like, you know, I love it when you do that because it just adds so much more excitement. I'm like, oh, cool, man.
The book I was reading tonight, like we started this new chapter book, and I'd go in and I'm launching in, I'm doing all the voices. All right, so there's this parrot that talks, so I go and go, rah, hello, rah, and then, but I hadn't read the bit ahead. So it goes, oh, good morning. The parrot said in the most unapparent voice you've ever heard. I'm like, oh, bollocks.
I do that all the time too, where I'm like in one character and you're like, whoa, oh, and then you read and you're like, oh, actually, hold on, that was another character.
That was his
authors should have to always put who's talking at the start of the sentence, because otherwise, just surprises.
Yeah.
And then don't surprise characters in as well in the middle of a chapter that I've not had time to think about.
Yes.
But they always
and then you start a voice and you're committed now.
Yeah.
You're going, this guy's South African, but he's clearly not South African. But I've started the voice.
Or the worst thing is sometimes you don't quite read ahead or read the quick synopsis of the story. So your dialect is completely wrong. So like I'll go in with like, yeah, man. And then I said, I'm going to do that. And it's like, oh, actually, hold on. They're from England. All right. All right, sons.
And they make reference to Scunthorpe. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, these people in Wales. Oh, man, I've really screwed this one up. Yeah.
I have the problem with when it's like one of those sort of picture books and you start reading it and either you don't realize it's rhyming and suddenly you've not got the kind of rhythm right for the rhyme, even though it is, or you do the opposite. You think it's going to be rhyming. You go, and he went to the shops and then he said hello. Oh no, that's not a rhyme. That's just sorry. He went to the shops and then he said hello. That's what I meant to say.
How are you finding it, Jim?
Yeah, loving it. Absolutely loving it. We're really getting into it. we're really enjoying it, and it would just we are enjoying that time, and there's sort of kids are sort of enjoying each other's books as well, because there's quite a difference. There's a 5-year-old and a nearly 9-year-old, but yeah, they're enjoying that, and we're about to start one called the Whitby Witches as well, because it's a Yorkshire one, so I chose the Yorkshire one. Well, I say I chose it, Elsa chose it, but I did point to it and go, that'd be good, wouldn't it? It's a Yorkshire one. We went to Whitby a few months ago. Do you want to read that? Yeah, I guess I do, Daddy. Okay, fine. So we'll have the results from the study. We'll share them afterwards. In the meantime, check out the Dadsnet website. Check out the description of this podcast, and there'll be more details on that. There's a wide selection of books from Farshore together with Dadsnet. Right, should we do the big question of the week?
Let's do it.
The big question of the week.
The big question of the week.
So this Facebook user who's just commented here, is that Sparky? Listening from Northern Spain.
No,
That's someone else listening from Northern Spain.
Yeah, it's Joe Hale.
Oh, hello, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Listening from Northern Spain when bandwidth allows. Loving you all. That's dedication, right? Someone's actually listening from abroad. Well, not abroad for them, where they are.
You have no idea how much love is being sent back to you, Joe.
Yeah. So that means Sparky isn't listening then, wherever he is.
No, he can't be asked, dude. Come
from
on.
His hot tub.
Yeah, from his hot tub. Yeah.
With his wife to be.
Shocking behaviour. This is the big question of the week. It's where we take some questions from the Dadsnet groups and we try and answer them, basically. This one is a fascinating one. I nearly read the name. We don't read the names because, they're anonymous. That's the whole point of the group, is that no one knows who you are. But I nearly did. So sorry, Barnold. About birthday parties. This year, my 5-year-old daughter has been invited to 17 birthday parties. My 3-year-old son's getting invited to parties as well now, 4 since September. Each time we feel obliged to send a birthday present, but have calculated that we've now spent approximately £175 on presents for other people's children. When you look at it like that, I mean, not a lot of people do, but yeah, go for it. It seems excessive. I've said that to the wife, that we shouldn't bother sending presents. It's not our responsibility to get presents for other people's kids. She disagrees. What's the correct protocol? What are we thinking? What are we going? Brad, what are you thinking? Are you getting presents for all of these kids that your kids go to the parties of?
Oh, okay. So if you're invited to the party, you get a present for the birthday kid, right?
Yes.
If you're getting invited to too many parties, just say no.
But then don't you have to disappoint your kid going, you can't go to Barry's party because I just can't be bothered to spend the money?
You can't go to Barry's party because I said no.
Okay.
and then they'll say, why? And you'll say, because I said so.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the resolution.
Classic parenting. Classic.
Yeah. I mean, spending that much, but also then again, you don't necessarily. It's a tricky one because you sometimes feel like when you go to these birthday parties, you're all trying to buy a really expensive birthday gift or something that's really fascinating, something that's unique. And I think sometimes you just got to go back to like the really cheap basics, or just give them a card. Like what I do is, sometimes I give them a card with like a tenner in, and then just say,
but like, how many kids are in your kids' class?
Yeah, thankfully.
Like if you're getting invited to all of those parties.
Thankfully, dude, I can count on my hand the amount of birthday parties that go on these days.
I was going to say, when you get to the age of Brad's kids, they tend to not go to everybody's party all the time. It tends to be like sort of...
It tends to be the early years. Yeah. It's kind of, I think it's almost like all the parents feel obligated to just invite for all of that so everyone can get to know each other and... yeah. So nowadays, dude, like there's very, very little or very few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Or what we would do is also is we wouldn't necessarily go to everyone's birthday parties. We'd go to the ones that were their close friends.
Right.
Yeah.
We'd prioritize those ones. So if there was someone that was kind of more of an acquaintance, we'd be like, okay, listen, I'd just say we'll go do something that weekend, or we'll go do something that day. We'll go out to the park or whatever.
Okay. So you're saying you are obligated to get them a present. So,
like, if you're gonna go, yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Is it like a wedding where you sort of have to pay back your ticket price almost?
You see, that's what I was thinking when I read that. When he said, "Well, if you look at it like that, we've spent 175 quid on other people's kids," but it's not quite, is it? Because what you've done is you've spent 175 pounds on your kid having fun. So if they were going to go to a soft play and have a meal and have some cake or whatever, and maybe some extra entertainment, then a £5, a tenner, that's a fair price for it, really. So
yeah,
okay, you've not actually paid that directly to the soft play center or to the entertainer, but you've paid it in terms of buying a present for the kid. So actually, if you look at it in that way, you've just entertained your kid for 175 quid.
Okay, but then you, as the parent of the kid having a birthday party, why don't you just figure out the value of that and get your kid something good for that price, rather than the 28 pieces of shite that you're going to get?
So what you're saying, I'm going to get my kid Harry Potter Lego. Can you all put a tenner in? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I hadn't thought about it like that.
He wants to start a GoFundMe.
No, I'm saying, like, screw the party. Just get them something they want.
But your kids want to have a party. They're not having the party to have the presents, are they? They're having the party to have the party.
Well, then so don't do the presents.
Extra thing. But that's what you do on parties, isn't it?
So I've got a problem. Is, like, my kids are 3 and 4, so they're a year apart school-wise.
Mm-hmm.
They know all the same people, right? They've got loads of the same friends. So every birthday party, they're both invited.
Mm-hmm.
Danny always says we have to take 2 presents.
No,
she's wrong.
No,
she's wrong.
Thank you. This is my argument. Like, no,
it's not a present per kid. It's a present per invite. So if both your boys have been invited, then there's only one gift from both of them.
Danny, when you're listening to this,
it's the same as, like, yeah. On this occasion, I'm gonna definitely say Jack, I think, is right in this one. Like, for instance, if it was Jake's birthday and you and Danny got him a gift, would it have to be 2 gifts because you got 2 parents and you guys have got to, or would it just be you guys get him a nice joint gift that you think he'll love?
Well, yeah.
That one. Yeah. There we go.
We actually sometimes get him more than 2 gifts, but
someone's doing all right on the Dad's Net box. To be honest, I would rather that no one brought presents to my kid's party, because it's anxiety-inducing how much rubbish you get around birthdays and Christmas.
It's all shit. Like, thank you everyone who gets my kids presents. I really appreciate the thought of it, but, like, Jake got a lot of crap that
is useless.
It's probably gone now.
Yeah. I remember my thing, dude. I just turf it in the bin.
Well, that exactly. He got an Elsa, like, one of those do the makeup and comb the hair heads.
Yeah.
Because he was into Frozen at the time. He got one of those. It lasted like a couple of weeks because he tangled all the hair up and just never played with it, and it was all right.
Then he just let it go. So
yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you guys your opinion on one thing about kids' birthday parties?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for.
What about those? What's the actual terminology for it? Those party bags. They get dished out at the end. Where, like, I've been to a few where, like, the parents have, like, put, like, proper shit in these bags. It's not just like a quick, chocolate coin and a whatever. You're talking about, like, little Lego pieces and things like that.
Yeah.
And
once again, I was like, give them some sweets, give them a bit of cake. That's it. We'll be happy. We're not going to go away and be really excited about playing with a glider like thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of plastic shit that goes in there that the world does not need.
Yeah.
And the kids go away, break, go straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't need to happen. What we did for Jake's 4th birthday party, and this sounds quite smug, but it also sounds very on brand given our current sponsorship. We got all the children books.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We went to the works, and it's like you get like 20 books for a tenner or something like that. And so we just got a ton of books and tied some sweets to them all. And there we go. You choose which one.
But once again, that's a good idea, I think, for presents at parties. Like what we do is we just get like a job lot of those, especially for Seth's friends, just like job lot of those little Lego kits, so like a $5 each. Get a load of them, like shove them out, and you've not spent too much money. It's something they'll enjoy, something they can kind of keep as well, or chuck into their other bits of Lego. No one hates Lego, right? Everyone loves it. So
yeah.
So, but I think, so things like books and those things are great sort of presents to take. So you can just say, I've brought a present. It's kind of a useful present and it didn't cost me a fortune. Now, where's me free burger and chips and run around the soft plate? So this is another question that we've had in. It says, we keep thinking about getting a dog. We can afford it. We've got the space available. I work from home and have the flexibility in my day to ensure it's exercised. It can be lonely working from home. And for what people have said, a dog is a trusting and loyal companion. What are the pros and cons of dog ownership? Now, someone on this panel is a recent dog owner, right? Brad, what are the pros and cons of having a dog?
Pros, you definitely get that companionship. You don't feel lonely. It's like having your own little built-in therapist, because no matter how bad your day's been, he's always happy to see me and he'll listen to me talk without anyone judge, or even if he is judging, I can't understand his judgment. And the other flip side of it is it's a lot of work. It's like just having another kid, if not even harder sometimes, because when you got to go away, you got to make sure you got a pet sitter or a house sitter, or like in my case, him being a Labrador means he chews everything, which I'm often every 3 months probably rushing him to the pet A&E to have his stomach pumped because he's consumed something he shouldn't do. To be honest, I love him. I think the kids absolutely adore the living shit out of him. They have such a good relationship with him. He is such a sweet dog. A lot of energy, a lot of good energy. Would I trade it in? No. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, it's a lot.
Do the kids do the picking up the poo, taking the walk?
Yes. Oh, so the walking thing, we tend to with our back and front garden, we tend to be able to get him to run around a lot within our property, so we don't necessarily have to take him out for walks for him to burn energy.
In the grounds of the West.
The grounds of the estate, yeah. But yeah, Logan will sometimes feed him in the morning if he has time before he runs off to school. The boys, both of them, will do picking up the poop, which is great.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can. You've just asked one. Would you like to ask another one?
All right, Liz Truss.
We might be looking for a new Prime Minister soon, Brad. So
there we go.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
Who in your house is responsible for the dog's anal gland?
Thankfully, no one, because his poops are solid enough to sort that out.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I've always wanted a dog since I was a kid. Always. And recently, we've even discussed it with Al on this podcast. Recently, I've found out about dogs' anal glands and about how they need milking. Is milking the right phrase?
I mean, I had a dog for like 12 years and I never milked him once.
Right. So why is Al, founder of Dadsnet, always fiddling with his dog's anal glands?
Maybe he has a kink for it, dude.
Everyone needs a hobby, right? Lockdown
look,
was a long
Joe
time.
has said anal glands are her job.
That
I assume she's
genuinely-
talking about the dogs.
Yeah,
and
well,
not
presumably.
her husband.
I mean, at no point did it ever come into any kind of consciousness of mine. It's a terrier
It's a
thing.
terrier
apparently.
thing. There we go.
Well, don't get a terrier is what we'd say to this dad. A Labrador was a great dog for 12 years. He was lovely with the kids as well. That's I would say if you're looking for a type of dog, then yeah, Labradors are so good. Yours is a Labrador, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, he is.
They're just perfect because he was quite. I mean, he would have been about 4 or 5 when Elsa was born, and then 6 or 7 when Seth was born, and he was just really good with them, really gentle with them. Took all the ear pulling and the kind of jumping on him and the cuddling and stuff, and so I really enjoyed that. But I did all the difficult puppy work before I had kids, so if you're looking to do it the other way around, I imagine it is just a right hassle.
Yeah.
Right, this other one, it says, I'm looking at getting the boy a couple of board games for Christmas. He likes fairly basic ones where you roll a die, move so many spaces, collect points, widgets, positions, and there's the occasional pick a card from the deck, do a forfeit type of deal. Any recommendations along that theme? He's just turned 8. Maybe include something a bit more complex than that.
Doesn't include cards or anything, but Frustration is a great game.
No way! Me and Jacob just started playing that.
Dude, love it. It's such a good, simple game. Honestly,
I just got it out the other night, and I was like, well, let's try it. Let's see if he gets the hang of it. He is obsessed with it now. Every night he's like, "Can we play Frustration? Can we play Frustration?"
So,
and when someone's losing, he goes, "I know it is frustrating."
It's frustrating. Yeah.
So, explain Frustration because I'm not sure I know Frustration.
So it's got dice in the middle, and depending on the version you've got, you either pop the dome down in the middle or you whack a paddle, and it rolls the dice for you. And then you have little men that you have to move around the outside of the board. And when you get back to your bit, they become safe.
Yeah,
but you can land on other people's, and if you land on them, they have to go back to their home area.
That is frustrating.
There is a little bit of strategy to it as well, because you can sometimes decide whether or not you want to take another player's team member off of the board, or if you want to move one of yours to try and get them closer to home. But the frustrating bit is you have to roll a 6 to get your player off of your home base onto the board first. So like I've been in games, dude, where like there's been like 20 turns that have gone by and I haven't gotten one guy off of the bloody starting point. But yeah, absolute cracker of a game. It's simple that young kids can get it and hook on it, and as Jack was saying, they get sassy as well.
Yeah,
when they're like, I'm winning, you're losing.
This
very good thing.
This kid's just turned 8. My daughter's 8, and she's really been enjoying Hotel. I don't know if you've ever played that. It's like Monopoly, but with hotels and less of the nonsense. It's you go around and you can build up your hotel, and then people have to stay there and spend a load of money and stuff. It's a little bit sort of more complex, but and it does bring out the kind of awful capitalist.
Jack will not be playing that, man.
But I mean, I
play a game called Everyone Runs a Farm.
And we tax them on their farm.
Exactly.
Their cow farts, man. Capitalist coming in there again.
Yeah, my son particularly, he's the most competitive out of all of us, and if he's winning, he's like, "Yes, you have to stay for 5 nights, and I've got all the facilities, so you have to pay £5,000 a night." And I'm like, okay, calm down, it's all right, Donald Trump, it's fine.
Have you ever played Monopoly Deal?
No.
So it's obviously Monopoly, but it's not a board game; it's just a card game. And it's a lot more quick fire. You can play around in 5-10 minutes. So there's a lot more instant gratification with it, and it's just not quite as complicated. And I think that'd be really good for like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd be in for that. I may even get hold of that before Christmas.
Yeah, I would do. Honestly, we've played it so much. Like me and Danny, whenever we go camping or anything, we take Monopoly Deal and we always play it.
Yeah, because Monopoly, the full game, is the most boring game ever, and no one's ever finished a game of that.
Exactly.
It only ever finishes with people like turning over the table and walking out.
Like
Exactly, yeah.
It's only ever like the first 5 minutes in Monopoly where everyone's like, yeah, all right, cool. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah,
someone's got Park Lane and Mayfair. Why?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Why are we even bothering? Why are we continuing this?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim, I don't know if you saw, there was just one in the comments from Chris Elliott that he was wondering if this could be part of the big question of the week. And it says, my son put his teacher in the hospital. Should I send her flowers?
Yeah. I mean, there you go. There's the answer. Yeah. Was that
I want to know. I want to know more of that story.
Mr. Jack Allen of Norfolk, wasn't it?
I was going to say, no, I'm listening to the answers quite carefully, though, because it sounds like something that might happen.
I would also like to know more detail on that. But yes, I would say that's probably the least you could do.
I think that would be the polite thing to do. Yeah. Maybe even a box of chocolates or something too, unless she's allergic to chocolate or dairy, and that's how she got in there in the first place.
Yeah, in that case, probably that's rubbing salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
This is Loose Dads from Dad's Net. On the way, we're doing Parenting Would You Rather. It's coming up next. This is me, Jim. It's Jack. It's Brad. It's not Sparky. He's abroad. Although he's been messaging, has he? I lose track of the comments. But
no, he's not messaging.
If he's abroad, is his name Sparkalina?
What? Sorry.
If he's abroad, is his name Sparkalina?
Maybe we'll find out when.
Right. Because he's abroad. He's abroad.
Yeah, he's abroad, man.
Let's get some broads up in this joint.
Jack lives near the Norfolk Broads, so
I do. I know them all by name. Very nice women.
Is that why the American Air Force had so many places there in the Second World War? So, World War II, topical joke for you there, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this sort of stuff, what you can do is you can get on our Patreon and help this show exist. Maybe I'll update the jokes to kind of the Korean War or something like that, something a bit more modern. Patreon.com/loosedads. If you go and have a look there, you can see all the different levels, the different rewards that you get. You could have a little hangout with us every month. You could get bonus content, geek stuff. You could get all sorts of other stuff. You just have a look at patreon.com/loosedads. And hello to executive producer Connor. Hope you're doing all right. Good. Right. Should we do Parenting Would You Rather? Let's play a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's game time.
So Parenting Would You Rather, it's like the game of Would You Rather, but it's sort of for parents. Very vaguely. But it's only vaguely for parents, really. Because we've been doing it quite a number of weeks now, and I'm running out of ways to link it to parents. So
I was just going to say, sorry, Connor on the Patreon stuff, just before we get into this, also said, if you sign up to the right tier on Patreon, you get a really cool t-shirt as well. A Loose Dads t-shirt.
Yes. Not just we'll go to Superdry and get something nice.
Yeah, not that cool.
Yeah, that's not how it works. That is also my point of reference for cool things. Is Superdry.
Do you think we could cut down on the cost of our t-shirts if we got rid of any logos or branding?
Yes, we could.
Yes, yeah. Well, just
make it more accessible to the masses. Just to send them a white t-shirt.
Traditional white fruit of the loom. Get that sent off.
We might have more uptake if we do that.
Or with some pens. We could write on with pens. Loose Dads. Except one of us would write Loose Dads or something like that, wouldn't they? Right. Would you rather, Brad? Would you rather never be stuck in traffic with kids in the back of the car again, or never get another cold?
Is this for Brad?
Brad. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing his thinking face, which is
yeah.
it's led to some dead air. But I quite like the drama.
I would
Yeah, but you
say
see, the ex-radio producer in me is like, oh, the emergency tape's going to cut in any second.
Yeah,
It's going to be 30 seconds, and Adele's going to start playing.
this is what happens at radio stations if there is too much silence, which is why everyone at a radio station, when there's a 2-minute silence, for Remembrance Sunday or something, everyone's heart stops for the 2 minutes because they don't want Girls Aloud kicking in when we're trying to listen from the cenotaph.
I would say I would probably not want to get a cold ever again.
Right, and you're happy being stuck in cars with kids. You're fine with that.
They kind of reached the stage now where they're not that annoying. Like they're still a little bit annoying, but they're not that annoying. Not like like full blown tantrum in the back of the car. And even to the point that Cole kind of still to this day, if we're on a stuck in traffic on a road, I'd even say a 30-minute drive, he'll still nod off in the back of the car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I would definitely choose never getting a cold because I was going to say, can we say COVID counts as a cold? Because I could do without getting COVID a 4th time and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th. So,
you're like, it's you and Keir Starmer who've had it the most, isn't it? I mean, he's had it 16,000
we're competing. Times. Yeah, we're competing to see who can get it the most.
So if your kids aren't tantruming and aren't at that stage, let's move this question on to Jack. Jack, would you rather, same question for you, since there's only 2 of you, never be stuck in traffic with kids again or never have another cold?
Well, my kids will get older and that will stop being a problem eventually.
Potentially.
But colds will never. I currently have a cold. I don't know if you can hear my slightly stuffy voice or my sniffs.
Sounds like I think every time you sniff, your tash is blocking it, the airflow, dude, so we don't hear it as much, so it's fine.
But a real sign that I'm getting older. Today in the car, I coughed and pulled a muscle.
Oh my God, I've done that.
And so I'm in quite a lot of pain around my right shoulder blade because I coughed too hard. So I'd like to never have a cold again, please.
That's good answer.
I'm so glad that's happened to someone else, dude.
And that'll just get worse as I get older. Right, Jim?
Jim?
The cold thing. To be honest, it wasn't that difficult, was it? As I say, we've done this quite a lot, and I'm running out of good ones. As you can tell from this one, Jack, would you rather have the BFG's ears or Pinocchio's nose?
Okay, right. BFG's ears, as in the actual size that the BFG has, or the size proportionally to his head to my head.
Let's say the actual size that he has, so they're even more ridiculous. You like Dumbo, basically.
But they don't do anything special if you lie, do they?
No, they don't. I believe they just stay the same. I don't know, because the BFG is quite a straight up guy, isn't he? Is he going to lie? I don't think he would.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Found out.
I think I would go with the ears. You could just tuck them into a hat.
Yeah.
But
would it cause havoc with headphones, do you think?
Oh.
Yeah, you might have to start getting you might have to end up getting like earpods.
No thanks. But my ears would be too big. They wouldn't fit in. They just drop out.
True.
Or they'd fall down into the cavity.
You'd have to have 2 massive sort of Bang & Olufsen.
Yeah.
Or do you remember like the first that like when the portable laptop speakers first came out, they were like these round cylinder things that you could wedge together. So like, and you break it off, and it would be like these 2 halves. You could just get those and stuff them in there.
As we call them, BFG earpods is what we call them.
Yeah. There's a market for it.
I think I'm going BFG ears, just because it makes casual conversation quite hard if you have a nose that grows when you lie.
Yeah, because everyone embellishes a little story, don't they?
Exactly.
It's like, oh yeah. oh, I was 20 minutes late. You were only 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
It would
I'd say about 8, and then it grows.
Yeah. And also the good thing about the big ears is that I, after many years working in radio, have quite poor hearing. And so I think with BFG ears, I'd be able to hear a bit more. Because, if you're having a conversation and there's some background noise and someone's got quite a quiet voice, I can't tell what they're saying at all. And that was a real problem during COVID with people wearing masks because I can't even lip read.
I have a similar problem because of my height. Whenever I'm walking next to people, and most people I seem to walk with seem to kind of have their head aimed towards the ground, talking downwards. So when they're talking to me, I'm like, sorry, what? Because literally they're talking down. I've got problems with my hearing on that occasion.
Oh, yeah. I've not thought about the acoustics of being tall because it's never really been a problem for me. This, I think, is one of the most important points that's been made. You wouldn't be able to lie to the kids. And that is important, right?
No, I would definitely go for the nose because I'm pretty sure I can convincingly lie to the kids. I can convincingly convince this nose that I'm telling the truth.
You think you have the power to circumvent the Pinocchio nose?
Yeah, I think so.
Big news this week.
I think though, my wife would rather I had the nose.
Well, there are the perks.
And this seems like a good point to say thank you very much for listening to Loose Dads from Dadsnet. If you want any more advice about parenting, dadsnet.com is the place to go. If you would like to help the show in a non-monetary way, because there's Patreons there if you want it, that'd be great. But you could do things that don't cost you cash as well. You could give us a 5-star review, write a lovely review for us on Apple Podcasts. You could share this with a friend. Just tell someone to listen to it, and that'd be nice as well. I'm Jim. That's been Jack. Jack, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye. See you later. Okay, bye. Make sure you say it. Okay. Brad, you going to say bye-bye as well?
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, well done. You said bye-bye. Thank you. Well done, you two. And we're back next week. And will we find out about how Sparky got on? Or will he still be somewhere abroad with his 18 friends who are just hanging around? Not including us 3.
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore.
Okay, right. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Loose Dads, a Dadsnet original podcast.